Okay, so today we're going to talk about a major topic, a major thing that I wanted to discuss for a while. So I'm going to discuss my toxic ex. So this from a long time ago. This is like a previous ex. Some of you may not know, some of you may know. So basically a toxic relationship. Alright, so when I was in about, let's say, 7th grade, 8th grade, right? And I'm discussing this topic because I'm seeing it a lot, you know, in media and many people that I know, the relationships just seem very toxic. But I want to discuss it, and I want to like help you all in it too, and help you to know that, you know, sometimes you just gotta get out of it because it's really not good. But let me start from the beginning. All right, so when I was in 7th grade or 8th grade, one of those, the first few weeks of school, I, you know, had about 2 friends. I'm not friends with them now, but I had about 2 friends. I mean, it's no bad blood or nothing. They know who they are, but we just stopped being friends. 2 friends, right? So we all basically was making a bet. We was like, yo, asking the girl out. Like, basically, like, yeah, we was like asking the girl out, see if she gonna go out. So I'm like, yeah. You know, at that time, like, my globe didn't come or whatever. So I'm like, ain't nobody gonna say yes. So I asked about 2 girls. They asked some people, but they said no. So the last girl I asked, she was like, yes. So like, at first, like, I had to like really like think about my she asked me, she was like, are you playing? I was like, no, I'm not playing. But it's like when I think about it back, I should have said, yeah, I'm playing, because I did not know that I was gonna. From that start, I did not know that my life was gonna really take a toll. Well, my school year was really gonna take a toll from that time. So she said yes, right? So we're together. I didn't think about it. I was just like, yeah. So I went back to my friends. I was like, yeah. So one girl said yes, and we're together. So at that point, I knew that girl. We were kind of friends, and I'm gonna name her Smarty Pants. I'm gonna name her Smarty Pants because she was really smart. So I'm gonna name her Smarty Pants, bro. So Smarty Pants, one thing about her is that she was really cocky. Like, she always thought she was better than everybody, and that's why I didn't like. But I kind of liked her personality, and she was pretty to me, I guess. So with that person, right? That person, you know, she was cool. But at first it started good. You know, we started to talk on the phone. You know how relationships be. Talk on the phone, texting. At that time, we weren't really going places. Cause, alright, so I'm gonna be honest. That was like my first, I had a relationship. No, that was like my first relationship. I'm not gonna lie. That was my first relationship in 7th grade, going out with Smarty Pants. So, I wasn't really like, you know, I heard things and stuff, but like, I was gonna go on my own pace. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we having fun, you know, texting on the phone, like talking, you know, sending love messages, stuff like that. You know, nice things, right? So, let's say fast forward 3 months, you know, whenever people were like, oh, you go with Josh? Oh, you go with Josh? And then they would ask me, oh, you go with that girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, it came to a point where, like, people were so excited and hyped. And it's like when it's relationships with people, especially with 2 people that you would never think they will come together or be in a relationship. In a relationship, it's like a big thing. So, yeah, so she was, you know, my boo. Like, right there, like, I thought I had love for her. Well, I thought I had love for her. So, this is where it got toxic. So, it will be times where, like, alright, so we both smart, right? But it will be times where she would try to grade me and be like, let's say I get an answer wrong. She was like, oh yeah, you're dumb. Like, I mean, couples do that. Even friends do that. But it came to a point where she would degrade me so much. To the point where it was like, she would just think that because I remember I said in the beginning, she thought that she was better than everyone. So it was times where she was like, oh yeah, I'm better than you. And you know, like that mentality, like, that the grade, and it's not the funny like, oh, well, you got the answer wrong. It's like it was every time. So it was times where we would sit together in class, and you know, she would do things like like, let's say I know the answer, she wouldn't even let me raise my hand. Like, it was a lot of mental breakdowns that I had sometimes because, like, she was really toxic. But I didn't know at that point. I was very naive. And she told me numerous times. She was like, yo, Josh, you're naive. And I was like, no, I'm not. I actually love you. And then, yeah, I think that's why I have a little trust issues to this day. But we still gonna talk about that topic. So, you know, so the relationship, it was hard. To be honest, I just wanted to be with someone, to be honest. So that's why the relationship took a turn for like 4, 5 months, 6 months, or whatever. But like it just came so toxic. So so y'all, we're gonna start from the beginning. So from the, you know, the words like, oh, you dumb, you know, different things she would say, like she would try to, like, I mean, we were flirting and everything, but it was time where she was trying to get real physical, and with me, I don't play that. Like, don't do that. So I would restrain her sometimes. The teacher would say some stuff, like, she would try to hit me. Like, it was a lot of stuff. Like, I did not tell nobody to this day. But what really took the turn is, like, how can I say it? She would tell other people about me. She would tell so she was friends with one of my best friends. Or friends at that point that I thought was a friend. And she would tell them all my business. My friend would come to me, and that was one of the 2 guys that I was with in that grade. They would come to me and they would tell me things. I'm like, how would y'all know that? Like, how would you know I did this, I did that last night? Like, how would you know? And stuff like that. And then during all this, like, probably 4 or 5 months, like, people were like, oh, you know, like, they was, like, real hype about us, you know, me and Smarty Pants being together. But they did not know that I really went through a whole lot of toxic things. Like, it was really toxic. And, like, thinking back, I just wish that I had got out of it, like, a long time ago. But it just, I guess I was naive. I really loved her and she didn't love me back. Well, I thought she did, but it was just toxic. But yeah, so you know, he would tell me things. He would like, hey, you did this, child. I'm like, what? So at that time, I wouldn't even know what he was talking about. I'm like, how did you know that I did that? So she was basically like telling him everything that I told her. So it came to the point where I realized, like, yo, nah, nonsense. So it was time, like, where we all 3 I had class with her and my friend, and it would just be awkward. Lie to y'all not. This girl literally, like, I felt like she was flirting with my friend, and at that time he was my best friend. At that time I should have fought him, but I didn't fight him because, like, I'm a nice person. I'm not. It's gonna take a little bit more for me to get a little physical. So, as I was saying, like, this nigga, like, he was disrespecting me. Like, he was talking about some, yeah, I got your girl. I'm like, what? He's my friend, so I'm like, all right, it's jokes. Like, I'm not taking nothing serious. So it came to a point where they will be hanging out more than she would hang out with me. So I'm like, all right. Like, I didn't want to be petty and, you know, get somebody else to be hanging out with. So I was like, all right, I ain't really mind. So it was times where we just pass each other in the hallway, like, bump each other. Like, it was just very, like, it was times where I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't do my work because all I was thinking about was her. And, like, you know, it was just super, super, super toxic. You know, we would talk on the phone, and she would just bring up all this dumb stuff, like, you know, like, oh, you remember how you acted in class? Like, you know, like, it was giving very much bully vibes. But I was naive at the point. I was like, yo, you know what? I still love her. Da-da-da. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually did love her. But she was very toxic. So, also, like, even it was to the point where, like, the only thing I ever did was just kiss her on the face. Like, I didn't even kiss her on the lips or nothing like that. Like, I didn't even kiss her on the lips or nothing like that because, as I said, like, like, alright, so we didn't have, how can I say, like, I would try to be, you know, romantic, and she just didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't want that. Alright, so, moving forward, I want to, you know, this video is getting a little long, But moving forward, like it came to a point where like she would talk to my friend more than she would talk to me, and it was to the point where I was like, yeah, this ain't it. So I was like, you know what? I called her one night. I was like, yo. So I'm gonna call her Smarty Pants. A lot of y'all may know her real name, but I'm not doing it. I was like, yo, Smarty Pants. You know, we've been together for a while. Da 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 da. You know, I mean, I still love you, even if we, you know. I told her, I was like, so I'm breaking up with you. And guess what she said? She said, okay. She was like, okay. And I'm like, alright. Like, okay. So, fast forward to the next day. People saying like, oh, why you not hanging out with her? Why you not doing this? Why you not doing that? So, I'm like, oh yeah, I broke up with her. Everyone was like, what? I was like, yeah, she's a crazy girl. Like, she's real crazy. So, people looking at me like, what the hell? So, people were asking her. She was like, yeah, I broke up with him. Like, she really, oh yeah, that's one thing also. When you're dealing with a toxic person, they will manipulate you. She tried to manipulate me so many times. Like, one time she manipulated me to do her work one time. It was just a lot of manipulation and mind playing games that now I know from then, and I take it going to the next relationship, and I know signs and stuff like that, so I prevent myself from getting into relationships that's toxic. Yeah, she's playing mind games on me, stuff like that. Yeah, like, it was just really, like, I felt like it was a spiritual warfare thinking back, because, like, I was really depressed at certain times. Like, she would really, like, bring down my self-esteem. But, one thing I learned about it is that, like, you know, like, people will love you in public, but will hate you in private. Like, that's how it is. Like, or, alright, in her situation, yeah, people love you in public but hate you in private. Like, I think she was with me because, I mean, a lot of people knew about me and stuff like that. And, I mean, a lot of people liked me because I was a genuine person. So, I feel like she was with me because of that. For a status or something. But, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm over it, to be honest. But I'm just trying to help you all out. Whoever is dealing with a toxic relationship, like, just get out of it. It's not worth it. I mean, it's fun in the beginning, like, you know, y'all playing around, but it's not worth it. Like, your mental health is more worth than a relationship that's not going nowhere. Like, a manipulative person, a person that's lowering your self-esteem. If you're in a relationship and that person is not uplifting you, giving you confidence, telling you that and you're more, and telling you you're better than all these chicks or all these men out here, vice versa, like, then if they're not doing that, then you need to get out. Like, if all they doing is bringing you, like, you know, it's giving bum vibes, it's giving, you know, broke vibes, it's, you know, I mean, now, alright, so, now, if her significant other's in school, or if they, you know, working their way up, okay, cool. But if all they have to offer you is just, like, you know, nothing, then the relationship energy is nothing. Like, get out of there. But I just want y'all to take this one thing, you know, especially, you know, since I've been through it, and I want to encourage y'all, just as being a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships is the best relationships, you know, unless you're just out here dating and stuff, you know, do you, whatever. But I always encourage healthy relationships, and for my next relationship, I want it to be my last relationship. So I hope you guys got something out of it, and I hope you guys, you know, write down any comments, you know, subscribe, like, share, and get ready for many more story times. I really want to open up to y'all because I feel like I need to, and I might, you know, help anyone that's experienced something that I have gone through. And if I'm able to help you before you go through anything, then that would be good. You know, you have to learn from experiences. So yeah, that was my toxic relationship with Smarty Pants. And oh yeah, let me tell you, it was times where she would call me like at unprecedented hours. And I mean, like, okay, in a relationship, you know, people call you, cool. But even after we broke up, she wanted me to go to her school. She wanted to talk. She wanted to hang out. She wanted to do all this. She called me on my birthday. She was like, why haven't you been answering my calls? I was like, we're not in a relationship anymore. Like, we're not a thing anymore. She was like, okay. But you could have answered my call. Like, she kept saying, I'm like, yo, we're not in a relationship no more. Like, she was really trying to manipulate me and do all types of craziness. But thankful and thanks to God, I stopped her, and I immediately blocked her that same day of my birthday. I was not playing. You're not gonna ruin my birthday. So yeah. So that was my toxic relationship story time. So make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. Peace. Get into it. Wow.